Welcome to UserAndI, the channel where I explore all things UI and UX design. And in this video, I'm reviewing the mobile site from e-commerce brand Bombinate. This is one of my favorite brands that I found most recently, and I was scrolling their website and I thought this would make a really good episode. So this is their drop down menu, and I quite like a few things from here. I know usually we start these episodes with what we don't like, but I actually don't have anything I don't like about this. So to quick things off, I quite like the spacing between the label and the borders on each of the items in the drop down. What I also like is that from a development perspective, this entire area is clickable, not just the text, which is a huge pet peeve for me on any website. I also like the fact that they're bringing in their brand colors here. As you select the category of drop down on the selected, they basically focus on home and menswear. So opening this, you can filter between all, home and menswear, which I think is pretty straightforward. I really like that. I also like the way they've come in and they've sort of simplified the header, but given it sort of a lifestyle-y feel with this background image. I think that's really strong. I quite like that, and the logo still stands out, which is great. Now in terms of font type, I think they've done a great job. I do love a sans serif font, and I think they've gotten the correct weight here as well as the type of font they're using. So we're moving on to Bombinate's category page here, and we're going to stick with the green pen. So Bombinate is quite a high quality brand, and the style of icons they've gone with I think reflects that. They're simple, they do the job, but they don't scream too much as well, which is great. I think that works really well. They've gone for a sans serif title font, and on their subcategory fonts as well, which pairs nicely with the sans serif call to action underneath, which I quite like. I do also think this works well. This is an entire category area just before you get to the other items within the tech accessories category. So these allow you to filter down before you get to the main area, which I think works really well. What I've seen on other e-commerce brands is that they usually have this area below these products sometimes, and it's a bit redundant because after you've scrolled through all of their products, you're unlikely to continue scrolling because you feel you haven't found anything that you're looking for. So that works really well in that position. And then we get to their products and how they're displayed in a list. Now I haven't actually seen this done on any other site, so I'm quite happy to have finally seen it. And I think it shows just the level of detail that they've gone into. Each of these images has been shot on the same background, or at the very least they're a PNG that's been given the same background, and it really gives it a lifestyle feel as opposed to the typical product image, title, description, price, and then call to action. If you notice, there's actually not a call to action here at all, which I'm actually I'm quite against, but this works. I think it works really well here. The little more colors available here is really helpful for the user as well, as it communicates variation. And I just quite like how simple and clean everything looks. Even the choice of font on the brand of item works really well. This is probably one of my favorite e-commerce websites because of the way they've focused in on the design and the aesthetic of their brand. Now the only thing I think could be done better, and it's really a tiny thing, is the category section here falls above the breadcrumbs, and this is an accessibility thing. So for me personally, this should be much higher up the page. In fact, it should be the top of the page. I wouldn't have anything above this. I guess as a user as well, I go on a website, I see the header, and I'm used to seeing breadcrumbs and then the rest of the content on the page. So it would have been nice to see that back up there. But aside from that, I quite like the rest of the page. I think it's done really well. I think it's worked really well. There's a lot of thinking that's gone into this area as well. What do you guys think in the comments below? Let me know what you think they could have done differently, or maybe there's another e-commerce brand that you think has done a better job. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next episode.